have Mr. Rahul Bhattacharya with us today. So, welcome to Bookswagon. Rahul Bhattacharya is a very promising writer, journalist, and editor. We would love to know more about your journey, how you became a writer, and exactly who you are.
Hi, Marissa. Thank you for having me, Bookswagon. I became a writer almost by accident. I studied mathematics in college, and then I became a cricket journalist. Uh, Literally a few days after my final exam. And as soon as I became a journalist, I realized that this is what I want to do. I want to be writing. And so cricket gave me the opportunity to travel the world and go on cricket tours. My first book was actually a cricket tour book called Pandits from Pakistan. It chronicled the Indian cricket tour of Pakistan in 2004. So it was a kind of travelogue, a sports book, a combination of a few genres like that. That was my first book back in 2004. I was 25 at that time. I then went to the Caribbean. I spent a year in Guyana and I wrote a novel called The Sly Company of People Who Care. That was published in 11, I'm sorry. And my third book, Railsong, is out now. It came out in India a couple of months ago. It's going to be published in the UK and the US in next month. And I worked for about a decade on this book, Railsong. And well, I encourage your readers to give it a shot.
Alright. So, as a writer, sir, what do you think? Do you write from your observation first or your memory serves you?
Both observation, memory, imagination, you have to use all kinds of tools. The idea is to build a world for the reader that's credible, that feels true to them, that is immersive for them, that makes them think, that makes them feel somehow that by reading the story of others, I'm also understanding my life and the world around me. So I suppose one uses a combination of these things.
Okay. So, how much do you think your career as a journalist has your affected you being a writer?
I mean, my last two books have been novels, and so I'm a fiction writer now because I've got more works of fiction than non-fiction. That said, I'm also a journalist in between books, during while writing books. I do take journalistic assignments, reportage, column writing sometimes, essays. That training is good sometimes. It helps you think about economy of words. It helps you think about deadlines. It helps you even just keep your writing muscle alive a little bit. Just the idea of not just drafting, because novels take a long time to write, and you work through successive drafts. But with a piece of journalism, you turn around this quicker, and you actually then have to produce a finished product in a much shorter time. That discipline is useful.
Well said. And how much do you think your personal life, your individuality reflects your writing?
I think that with every writer, that who you are, what you are, your consciousness, your way of looking at the world, inescapably presents itself in the book. Which is to say, which is not to say that you're writing autobiographical material. Sometimes you might do that. The irony is that sometimes when you're trying to write something autobiographical, you might actually find yourself departing from your story, I'm talking about fiction here, and going into something else altogether. Even though the starting point might be autobiographical. And in other cases, you're writing something which is far removed from your experience, an imagined character, but there is a kernel of truth, a deep affinity between yourself and the characters you're writing about, which in some ways captures the essence of who you are, more than the so-called autobiographical skeleton that you build for a different character might. So writing is interesting. I mean, everything that you put on paper is finally, in some way, a fictional, in some way, a fiction. It is a story that you're kind of crafting, incubating through words, and you're putting it out there. There is no one final, ultimate fact about yourself or your experience. They are reflected, they manifest in many different ways.
True. All right. So please tell us about your latest edition, Railsong. What exactly inspired you to write this book, and what message do you think it conveys to the reader?
So this book, Railsong, is the life of a character called Charu Chitol. We follow her as you may have surmised, it's a female protagonist, and we follow her from the age of 3 to her mid 30s. This covers over 3 decades of Indian life. It starts in around 1960-61 and goes right up to 1992. Through this process, we really get a deep sense of who this character is. And by following her journey, I think you'll be able to learn a lot about yourself and how you, through the experience of others, because that is how ultimately we make sense of our world, not only through our direct experiences, but the stories we imbibe and how those kind of contrast with our experiences or how they correlate to our experiences. That's one part of it. It's also a journey through modern India. Through the railways, especially, we travel from Nehruvian India to pre-Green Revolution India, through Indira Gandhi's India in the 1970s, through the 1980s of Mandal politics. All of that is done through her life story, through her experiences in the workplace, through her experiences in the domestic space. You get a sense of what it is to live as a woman, especially in this country.
Wonderful, coming from somebody who is actually taking that time and capturing the essence of what freedom means to women. It's definitely amazing to see you write something like that, and I really hope that it creates an impact. Lastly, is there any message that you have for our readers that you'd like to convey?
Um, since the readers already, I was going to say read books because we're always told that books are endangered and people are giving up the reading habit for screens and mobile phones or whatever it is. But you come to a World Book Fair like this and you see that this is obviously not entirely true. I mean, there's an astonishing number of people here. It's just the first day. So many people in your store. It's really a heartening thing. I mean, when you see so many readers in a place that is dedicated to books, a large place like this, there is no other message really to give them. Thank you.
So the readers are already reading, so
Yeah. Thank you, readers.
on that note, thank you so much, sir, for being here with us. It
Thank you,
was
Nancy.
great interacting with you.
Hi, I'm Rahul Bhattacharya, the author of the novel Railsong. You can get your copies on bookswagon.com. Thank you.